Ty Johnson is one of those guys whose stats I try to track at the end of every slate of games on Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings just to see if he was able to get an opportunity to have an impact or if he was able to produce any yards or catches or touchdowns. He got a little bit of an opportunity against the Bears this week for the Jets. Of course, most of the story and most of the attention coming from that game is on and should be on Mike White replacing Zach Wilson and playing quite well. Scored 31 points at home against the Bears, who, of course, played without Justin Fields. If you don't know, Ty Johnson was an unbelievable player in college for the University of Maryland. And prior to that, at Fort Hill High School in Western Maryland. If you're unfamiliar, unique town, unique situation with our high schools, rivals. One school is red, Fort Hill. One school is blue, Allegheny. Two high schools in the same town. There's a third high school, I think, on the outskirts of the town, but those two pretty much dominate or have dominated for decades the football scene there. And the weird thing is, they both play their home games on the same field. It's so unique and interesting. If you get a chance, look it up. A couple of videos have been done. Fort Hill High School, Allegheny High School in Cumberland, Maryland. At University of Maryland, Ty Johnson had 1,000 yards rushing as a sophomore, averaged 9 yards per carry. You heard that right. 9 yards per carry as a sophomore and 1,000 yards. Opportunities kind of dipped a little bit junior, senior year, I think, under different coaching staff, but still produced. Overall, in his career at Maryland, 2,630 rushing yards, 7.6 yards per carry, 4 years at College Park, 17 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Also had 2 kick returns for touchdowns. I mean, the list goes on. Incredible player at University of Maryland. Got a chance with the Lions. They traded him to the Jets. He's basically contributing about 250 rush yards per season in the NFL. Happened to see the guy play in high school and college in person. Just always try to follow what he's doing. And this week I thought he had some great moments against the Bears, so we're going to chronicle a little bit of them. He actually got some touches. Now, the 32-yard touchdown was late in the game. But just to let you know, he did have 34 catches last year for the Jets. 34 catches, 370 yards, so almost 11 yards per catch, two receiving touchdowns, only 238 rushing yards, 3.9 per carry last year. For his career, however, he's at 4.5 per carry. So let's go over a little bit of the film from this year, and then we'll finish with the film against the Bears from Week 12. Strong runner, breaks tackles, committed to his track, takes a big hit from 2 safeties here. And when I say 2 safeties, I mean Johnson and I think Hamlin from the backside are going to finish him off here. Great blocking by the Jets up front at home against the Bills earlier on in their upset win. You're going to get the end zone angle of the same play. It's a one-back power concept where they're kicking out Von Miller with the pulling guard. He's going to kick him out. And it's great blocking. They create a wall here. And then Johnson's able to hold on to the football. He's a strong runner. You're going to see against the Bears, man, breaking tackles. You was a home run hitter in college and clearly was a home run hitter in high school. In college, multiple 50, 60-plus yard runs. Great hands. I talked about him having 34 catches in 2021 for the Jets. He's not getting a ton of opportunities at this point. They even gave more early touches to McKnight this week, who I don't know has the big play ability that Ty Johnson does. But, Jets fans will be more familiar than I would be. Great hands, as you can see here. Third down, I think, ended up a little bit short of the first down to go. Has occasionally returned kicks in the NFL, but not as often as he did in college. I would love to see him bust one of these for a long run. This one, I think, is an 18 or 19-yard return against the Patriots. I'm not sure about you, if you're, whoever's listening, your coaching, playing experience, guys that you've been around. I've never met Ty Johnson personally, but watched him play enough, particularly in the playoffs in Maryland. When our team was out, we were able to see him play in the state finals, and put on a show. So here he is singled up against a linebacker in a pass concept this past week against the Bears. It looks like one back power. It's a play action. The linebacker, number 57, goes with the quarterback's eyes. The Jets are also running a cool scheme here, if you ask me. The tight end is getting in the way of the linebacker. So he's basically getting in the way of the linebacker, which frees up Johnson a little bit. But watch this linebacker. He's going to get here and then go back with the quarterback's eyes. I mean, it's man here. You got to go with your man and not be so heavy on the quarterback's eyes. Johnson, the safety tries to take a hit on him. He's just too strong. Small of stature, but very physically strong. Strong lower body, if you ask me. A couple of cuts here on a short run. Unsure of where to go. This little, I guess you call it F counter, but it looks like split zone, but it's Berrios, who's a smaller wide receiver. So this one was clearly not as successful, but you'll see later on when he gets a chance to run this behind an actual block, Johnson hits things, and he hits things hard. This is his 32-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter, I believe. Watch him run through contact multiple times on one run. Linebacker, corner, safety. 32-yard run. I mean, if that's not evidence that a guy can play, I don't know what is. This is the linebacker whose tackle is going to break. Clearly, the Bears miss a guy like Roquan Smith. You would expect that he would finish a tackle like this, unblocked at the point of attack. Then he makes a guy miss. Stiff arms, number 37, who I think is a rookie. Hicks, I think. He basically takes his frustration out on Hicks again here on this run late. Running him over at the end of the play. He's a brutally strong guy for being a small running back. Running backs in the NFL are a whole lot stronger than their size would indicate as compared to other NFL players. Look, you can see he broke the tackle of that linebacker again and then runs over Hicks to finish the play. Let me know who you are aware of, either through watching them play when they were younger or being a fan of them in college or high school or whatever, and who you root for, who you look up every week that's not a part of your team in terms of your favorite NFL team. For me, Ty Johnson is one of those guys. Fort Hill High School, great history in the in Maryland, a great reputation for beating bigger schools than they are. I think only like 800 kids in the whole school, eight state titles. I think they have the most undefeated regular seasons in Maryland football history at 20. So 20 different times they've been undefeated in the regular season. Last run that I'm going to show for him from the All-22, same one I just showed you where he runs over the safety. There's him breaking the tackle of a linebacker and finishing it off. Let me know what you think of Ty Johnson, getting limited touches in the NFL. At this point, he's been in the league. This is his 5th season, I think, maybe 4th. So, probably not going to be a quote lead back, but a guy who can contribute with occasional touches in the run game, certainly can contribute in the pass game. I mean, anytime you've got 30 plus catches in the NFL, that should be an indication that you're a player. I wish he would get more consistent opportunities for real, to see what he could do if given 8-10 touches a game between the run game and the pass game. Because in college he proved to be, a home run hitter, whether he got the ball on the run, the pass, kick return, whatever. One of my favorite guys to look up and check up on every week. And anytime I get an opportunity, I think he had 5 carries, 62 yards, 64 yards this past week. Did have the 16-yard catch up the top sideline. He's just one of those guys I root for. I'm sure you guys have some of them. Let me know who they are for you, whose stats you try to look up immediately or even during the game to see if they're getting touches. For me, Ty Johnson is one of those guys. Just because I saw him play in person when Tavon Austin was in the league, he was one of those guys for me as well. Saw him play, had the opportunity to be on the field at the same time, and just saw the way he carried himself, the confidence, the agility and the speed. Fun to watch and fun to root for. Ben Tate was another one from Maryland. A couple of quarterbacks as well. Just guys that you were able to see or maybe be around at camps and recognize the type of character they had and hope that they can continue to produce at the NFL level for a while to create, generational wealth for themselves. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of Ty Johnson in Week 12 against the Bears.